Here he is. He did. He was chosen by Disney to carry the torch for like a mile. So we had started dating, and your dad had never had Thai food. And there was a Thai food restaurant in my neighborhood that was just really good, like a really small family kind of Thai restaurant. And so I took him there, and there was this one soup. There was a seafood soup that was so good, but it was really spicy. One of the things that they would cook in with it was a whole little hot pepper, like a little green hot pepper. And your dad prided himself on being able to eat really spicy food. So we're eating this soup, and he sees this little pepper, and he said, "Oh, a pepper." And before I could say, "Don't eat that," it was in his mouth, and he was chewing it. His face went like beet red. He reached across the table, grabbed my Thai iced tea, and just put it down. The waiter came out, and your dad like ordered a beer like right away, and he just looked at your dad and me laughing across the table, and knew exactly what had happened, and he just shook his head and started to laugh. Well, he was such a joker. It wasn't there weren't any like big over the top stuff. It was just little things that he would do. He was really low key, but he was always funny. This is where we lived. And that picture that I have upstairs is a close up of your dad taken here. This is where in Corte Trabuco, our first place that we rented. Short shorts were the thing, and they were shorter on your dad than most people. If you notice, all the men are wearing short shorts, but your dads are shorter than most. Your dad couldn't figure out if the film was advancing. So he stood there like this, and he was taking all these pictures. So then he figured out the film was moving. So when we got that film back, there were all these shots of your dad's feet. We didn't have a shower, so the shower was broken, so that was his in the bathtub like a submarine. And your dad was really happy because he had those big feet, and your grandma got him socks that were extended size. So I was feeling really crummy, and I sent your dad out with a grocery list. 2 hours later, this man is still not back. I'm like, what? So he comes in the door, and I said, I know that you read labels, but really, did you take pictures or what? And he goes, I don't know how to be a dad. He said, I went out and I saw these kids playing t-ball, and I stopped and got out of the car to watch and see what that was all about. And I went over to Costco, and I looked at the strollers and the high chairs and the cribs, and all that stuff is really expensive, and I just don't know what a dad does. He broke down. And I wish I would have known to tell him, that's all right, honey. She won't know. He loved being a daddy. He wasn't sure he knew how to do it. It's like, who does, right? So then one day we're laying in bed, and of course her toys are in bed with us. And there was the Bert, a Bert doll, under the covers, and suddenly he pops Bert up, and he goes, "Oh, how are you today?" It was just lost it. And that's the last picture we took that was taken before he got sick.